Hey y'all, it's Michelle. I know it's been a minute, like over 10 years, but I'm here because I am back on YouTube and I am so happy to be able to share what's been going on. So, since my last video about 12 years ago, I have since gotten married and I have another child, and I've been diving into the world of points and miles. Now, you know, your girl was into saving some coins, right? Because um, my last videos were all on couponing, and I still do some couponing here and there, but I've been focusing on travel. I have fallen in love with travel, and not just travel within the United States, all across the world. And I've been bringing my family with me. We've been having a fabulous time. So I want to show you on my videos, now that I've redesigned my channel, I want to show you how you can achieve and travel the world at a discount price using points and miles. So traveling doesn't have to break the bank. You just have to strategize, get the right cards, and be able to use those cards and transfer them into points and miles to achieve those discount flights. So, what got me back to YouTube? Well, I just wanted to share how the Jetblue challenge, which started back on June 25th, so just recently, and it has ignited a fire in me in that I want to show you how I figured out how to do this challenge. Basically, the way the program works, the JetBlue program, is that it is offering 350,000 bonus True Blue points and mosaic status if you go to 25 different destinations. So you may be saying like, okay, well, what is mosaic? Mosaic points has things like check bags and things of that nature, which I'm not so like into. However, the 350,000 points means a lot. So I'm going to be focusing on the second tier here, where you go to 20 different destinations and you get an additional 200,000 points plus the 150,000 points, which gives you that 350,000 points. Now, JetBlue in itself wouldn't be enough for me to do this whole challenge, but because JetBlue partners with a lot of different airlines like Iceland Air, like Japan Airlines, I actually have a flight scheduled for September to Iceland, and I use my JetBlue points to achieve these flights. So I know how valuable JetBlue points are actually going to be. So the way that I did it, and I stood up nights trying to figure this chart out. Now, anyone else who's doing this challenge knows what I'm talking about, because you had to try to piece together your itinerary so that you can pay the least amount of money and get as many destinations as you can. So I figured out a spreadsheet. Here's my spreadsheet where basically I go through different destinations that are close by. I was trying to focus on hour and a half to 2 hours and a half flight time. I'm not trying to stay in the air, okay? Especially with our climate right now, I just want to hit it and quit it, get back home. There are a couple of nights where I had to stay the night because, as you see, some of their flights you get in pretty late, and so I had to get a hotel, which are these four here. But for the most part, I'm coming back in the same day. Okay. The blue section here represents the destination flights, because that's one of the things of the challenge. Number one, you cannot use any basic fares for JetBlue. None of those count. You have to use blue or higher. And so the second thing is that you have to, they only are counting the destination airports. So my departure airports does not matter, which helped me in a bit, because if you notice, this promotion is mainly, I would say, for the Northeast residents, because there are so many airports that are in nearby proximity. So I really would focus on those of you who are in Northeast to, if you wanted to do this challenge. Again, I'm doing 20, and starting out with Iceland, you may ask me like, well, how did you know where to go? How to figure that out? Well, I went to flightconnections.com. I went over here to airlines. I typed in JetBlue, and now I have just the flights that JetBlue flies throughout the world. Okay. And if you notice, see all these little circles, those are all the different airports. And most of them are in the northeast, followed by the south of like Florida. And then it's sprinkled here and there across the United States. So if you're in the northeast, you can definitely get this challenge done. So my first flight is from Islip to Fort Lauderdale. At first, I didn't know where to go from Islip, but what I did was, I typed in Islip here. Islip. And it highlights where JetBlue goes from Islip. So from Islip, it goes to Orlando, it goes to West Palm Beach, and it also goes to Fort Lauderdale. So that first flight, if you notice, goes to Fort Lauderdale. Check, I got that done. Now, second flight, I decided, again, I'm trying to do 2 hours, 2.5 hours or less in flight time, just so I can get back home. So then I did, where did I go? I wanted to come back. I wanted that to count. So coming back, I'm coming back to LaGuardia, then that's going to count. Check. Then I decided, okay, where can I go from LaGuardia? So you can go back to Flight Connections. I'm going to put LGA in here. LGA, and it shows all the different flights from LaGuardia. So from LaGuardia, I can go to Tampa, I can go to Orlando, West Palm Beach, and Fort Lauderdale. So I decided to use Tampa based on price. I'm also trying to be cost effective, guys, because if you notice here, I was trying to focus on flights that were, $150 or less. Here, the ones I put in yellow here, it does count, but it was done pre-existing. It was before this challenge started. So the price wasn't an issue for me because I wasn't even thinking about this challenge at the time. So the rest of the flights, I tried to focus on $150 or less. Here, this particular flight is a connecting flight, which I purposely chose because it gives me Boston. That's what the asterisk is here for. Connecting flights count. So from LaGuardia to Tampa, I was able to get that check. Then I said, okay, well, since I know I'm coming back to JFK several times, you'll see the JFK here. And I know, for instance, this trip here, number 12, back to JFK is what I was definitely know I could cover that destination. So I said, well, listen, I'm not going to pay the JetBlue blue fare coming back when I know I'm going to have it covered somewhere else. So here I didn't number it because it's not going to count. I'm using a Delta flight. I went to Google Flights and I went from Tampa to New York, just chose any date. And if you notice here, JetBlue, the flight, and this is for basic fare, okay? The JetBlue flight is $99, okay? Why not pay $79? And plus, I know I'm going to get that airport covered at a later date. So I chose the Delta flight, which came out to $79. However, I used points, so I paid $5.60 and 6,100 points, which was a great redemption. By the way, if you haven't already added the points path extension, it is a great time saver because if you notice here, it shows me the difference, 6,100 points and $79. Okay, if you didn't have that extension, the points path extension, it would just show $79. So it's good because it just saves me an extra, tab of looking up and figuring out how many miles that is. So it's definitely a good idea to get points path extension. And so I did that all throughout all my different destinations. There are quite a few times, majority of them, where I'm coming back the same day and I'm praying that there's no delays. Like, for example, here, flight number 20 from JFK to Pittsburgh. It gets to Pittsburgh at 4:55 and I turn around and come back at 7 p.m. So I'm praying that we have no delays through this. And I hope you'll come along with me because I'm going to be vlogging this whole challenge experience. You'll see what happens. Another thing I want to highlight is that Amex has offers for JetBlue. So check your Amex offers and see if you have any $50 credits if you spend a certain threshold. So I had a couple of those on my card and my husband's card. And then down here, another thing I want to highlight, um the if you ever fly a flight and they have TVs and it's not working, make sure to message whatever customer service. In this case, I had an American Airlines flight and the TV wasn't working. They gave me a credit of $150. Uh, Thank you. So I used it for this particular flight. One of the things you need to know that when you use one of those credits, it doesn't add into taxes. So that this actual flight was like, I think maybe $69 or $61 at the time, but the actual fare was $46 and that's all I had to pay. And that's all that the credit took. So I have some credits here. I have the running total of what I'm spending because again, I don't want to spend a huge amount of money for these 350,000 points, miles, okay? Because I want to stay at least one cent per mile. And right now I'm at $2,600 minus the credit, so that comes out to 24. Again, this was pre-planned, so normally you wouldn't want to get these high flights. So if I take that away, it's around $2,000 plus the hotel, so around 2,500 including hotels. And I'm hoping that these all work out. I'm hoping that you'll come along with me as I vlog to go through this whole challenge, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm glad that you guys are signed on. Please subscribe because that's going to get my video out so that I can do more content for you with points and miles, especially traveling with a family. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.